it's just the ultimate adrenaline rush for me. Nothing, just nothing compares to the feeling of getting in there, and knowing you're in a place in a cage with another human being that wants to do, things to you that are harmful, and it's on you to, defend yourself. It's on you to then, put the offense on them. I train out of Art of War MMA here in Eugene, Oregon. It's been a long journey. I started wrestling in high school. Was a bit of a high-strung, lots of energy, hyperactive child. So I found wrestling and immediately kind of just knew I found a passion. And I did that for 5 years. And afterwards, something was missing. I needed, combat sports back in my life. From my first jiu-jitsu gym that eventually merged with this gym. Took my first Muay Thai fight in 2009, and then 2012 was my first MMA fight officially. So I went wrestling to jiu-jitsu to Muay Thai, all the way back to putting everything together and trying to be the best, mixed martial artist that I could be. I got into my first Muay Thai fight, which I took on, it wasn't the smartest thing. I took on 2 weeks' notice. I'd been training for 2 months. But I knew that I had to put myself in that uncomfortable environment and where I wasn't able to use my wrestling or my jiu-jitsu and just focus on stand-up. And I went and did my first fight, and let's just say, I was about as unpolished as it gets in the striking department, but I figured out a way to win, and instantly I was just like, man, I have this brain that just clicks on when I get in there. That it's not always easy and it's not always pretty, but I will find a way to come out on top, and so that was another kind of moment. I was interesting, these uncomfortable situations, sure they're scary, sure I'm back there shaking and I'm kind of, feeling sick to my stomach, and then I get in there and everything just kind of clicks. And now, being however many fights in, I'm just kind of calm, cool, and collective, and that's my environment. And I do all my training here, so I get to go out there and have my fun. And back in 2018, I just kind of hit this moment where I was like, I have to go all in on this. Otherwise, I just don't think I'll be able, I just want to be happy at the end of my run, as far as life goes. Yeah. And so I put my notice in, I told my family and my friends that I was doing, put my notice in, and they were just like, you're doing what? And how much are you getting paid doing this? And when they heard this discrepancy in those numbers, everything's, oh, you're a professional fighter, you make money. I only get paid when I put on a performance, really. And even then, it's, the time that I put in to being able to do that, it doesn't add up. It's not livable, You don't start making really much money until you get to the bigger shows here. I really am just like a melting pot. Mixed martial arts is my style. I'm going to take the fight wherever it goes. But really, my game plan for fighting is pretty simple. It's, I'm going to figure out a way to connect, and really put a good shot on my opponent, and then I'm going to figure out a way just to continue to kind of get back to that. The battle's too close to 50-50 up here. Maybe I push the person up against the fence and try to do a little bit of dirty boxing, or I try to take them down and get them in a, corralled in a position where I can land some short shots. My theory is make that person kind of feel some pain, feel that discomfort, and then you really push their lungs, their cardio. And when somebody's in a little bit of pain and their cardio is being pushed, then, that's when their heart will actually show out, do they actually want to be in there, and I guess you can say I've tested that on myself. I know I want to be there, I have no problem going into those kind of scraps, and so we'll just see how bad you really want to be there. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people with just way more talent than me come and go. You got to have that gritty mentality, that heart, that that passion for this sport, and truly know that you want to be here. Remember that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I see a lot of people walk in here with the idea that they're going to take a couple of amateur fights, and the UFC is going to come knocking on their door. And here I am, in like year almost 20, and I still haven't had that. Still hoping for that. I'm much more of a competitor. It's the ultimate form of competition for me. I got nothing but respect for my opponents going in. I'll continue to show them respect until respect isn't given back to me. And then, I learned in one fight that going in there with the wrong mentality can also put you on your back. So I'm just in there to keep even kill and just go in there and show what I've been working on. There's no ill will in the game. I'm just out there to put on my best performance and entertain the crowd. And if you've never been in a competition like that, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA now, if you've never been in, do you even know, do you even know anything about yourself? How are you going to react in that kind of a situation, Being kind of a dreamer, and, I want to show my nephews and my niece that, hey, you can do whatever you put your mind to. It doesn't have to be cage fighting. I'm totally fine with that. But you just put your mind to it and chase after it. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, just go back and be able to tell yourself, hey, I went after it as hard as I could and put everything into it. And I think you'll be much more satisfied with your life when you go about things like that. So I just think I would encourage people that if you are even oddly curious about martial arts, take the leap. The hardest thing to do is to walk in the gym, just take the leap, walk in, at least investigate, check it out, watch a class. I'm sure a lot of places are still doing potentially free trial stuff, just go take the leap. That's gonna be the hardest thing you gotta do, and you'll know whether it's a good fit or not. I've helped all sorts of people, and for the most part, I feel like it's been pretty helpful for them, and the ones that just came in here just because they're looking for that little extra, they come in, they usually find a family, because that's what we are here. That's what a gym is,